Hello my friends, and welcome to episode 23 of One Credit Classics. I know what you're thinking straight away. You see that logo, you think, what the hell's that? I'll tell you what it is. It's Street Fighter 2 Rainbow Edition, an unusual part of the Street Fighter 2 canon that few people know about, but those who do have probably got really fond, crazy memories about. To set the scene a little bit, Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, or Championship Edition if you look at the Mega Drive one, had come out after Street Fighter 2 and it had addressed concerns that players couldn't be the boss characters, and that's the thing that you see there. But wait till you see this action. You notice, one, it's much faster, but two, all kinds of ridiculousness. All the moves are loads faster, you can do moves in mid-air, and that's what it was. It was unofficial. It was a hack, basically. There were loads of different various rainbow boards around. And the process was done by replacing chips on the PCB, not soldering or modifying, so technically it wasn't piracy, it was just a Street Fighter 2 machine running with unofficial components. What you've noticed there is that Guile's not Guile anymore, he was Balrog for a second, now he's Zangief. The interesting thing about this is the fact that there were so many different versions of it. There was Black Belt, there was Rainbow Edition 1, 2 and 3, all these different ones. But it actually influenced the Street Fighter canon and how it developed. Because Champion Edition came out early 92, and these boards started floating around, and Capcom at this point were working on Super Street Fighter 2, the new Challengers, which was the 16 character one with Fei Long, Cammy and all the rest. And they played this. Capcom staff members played this version and thought, I like the way that it's faster, it feels more kind of energetic. And then they thought, right, well, we need to put something else out. So they put out Street Fighter 2 Turbo that came out at the end of 92, early 93 in some regions, and was kind of the next in line really before Super Street Fighter 2 came out. It also paved the way for a lot of the moves on here are ridiculous, and that's half the fun of it. But it paved the way for a lot of moves that you actually saw in the game. For example, Ryu and Ken can do Hurricane kicks in mid-air, or they can do any move in mid-air, but Hurricane kicks in mid-air became something that actually got influenced in it and implemented into future versions. So, as crazy as it sounds, kind of the people who developed these boards that were modified and configured actually had quite an influence on the development of the Street Fighter canon. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to take, the other thing as well before I say what I'm going to do is, I was just about to say I'm going to take Ryu and play through, but I'll probably switch character loads of times, because all you've got to do is press one player start button and you can cycle between all 12 characters, so it's a fairly unique and crazy experience. There was a black belt board, a bit like this, in a video shop near me, and it only stayed there for around about 2 or 3 weeks, and I asked the woman and said, oh, what happened to the machine? Because they replaced it with, it was a Street Fighter 2 machine, and then they got a black belt machine, and then they replaced it for something completely different, like Knights of the Round or something. So I said to the woman, oh, what happened to the machine? She said, oh, we got a letter from somebody saying that we weren't allowed to run it, so they just gave us a different board. So I don't know how true that was, but I heard a lot of stories like that Capcom basically tried to get these boards kind of pulled off, really, because they weren't officially Capcom endorsed products. However you look at it, it's a fairly crazy bit of history. It's quite niche as well, and it's everything that I like on this channel. It's taking like a different approach to something that you might not have seen or something you might have good memories of. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Ryu, I'm going to march through the whole tournament very unfairly with a selection of moves that are so cheap I can't even begin to describe, and then we're going to try and beat M. Bison, I guess. Because that's the thing with all these games, isn't it? March the way through. I will be switching out Ryu for E Honda on all the bonus rounds, I warn you now, because he's just so much better, and he's the next character along as well, so you just press start once and then he turns into E Honda, so it's a lot of fun. It's an awful lot of fun. I can't wait to get started. Shall we? Ryu then. First thing you'll notice, it's ridiculously fast. Second thing you'll notice, this whole fireball thing is unfathomably broken. Oh, see, and that's the other thing. You can, as much as we'll be playing with Ryu, I'll probably have a look at a couple of other characters. Nice. And with the variable speed fireballs, if you can time it right like that, it's so easy to daze people. But the funny thing is, like, if you daze people with 2 fireballs, a lot of the time it's then impossible to re-daze them. Like, you can hit people with like 4 or 5 or 6 and it just doesn't want to. Ryu he threw a slow fireball then. Because you know, obviously the medium ones and the fast ones will just go straight forward instead of like heat seeking, because they just kind of don't have the time to readjust. Here you go. Oh, that was savage, right? Fireball just floating by. Wow, do you say that? You must learn how to block 500 mid-air fireballs to stand a chance. And you, Yonder. The other thing as well, like... Oh, he got me with that. Look at his Ryu's shadow on the floor. When it's wide like that, if you get the timing right, you can in essence stay off the screen. Like, I'm literally so... You can just about see me feet. If Guile got me with that, fair play. I want to stay with Guile, to be honest. Your only chance of beating, like, a Ryu who's playing like this is to pick somebody who's got some kind of a similar projectile attack. So, like, a Ryu can... And the thing is, there's no excuse not to. You can just change into him. But, like I say, something with a projectile attack. Because with that one, you ain't got much of a chance, really. Slow fireball still cut him. That hurricane kick set. The whole thing is just so sick. Ryu's so super overpowered. Oh, I hate blanket. I want to say on this blank has got like a... I read somewhere that on... I think it might not be in there. Red fireball, nice. On this one, it might not be this board. Blank has got like a vertical cannonball, which inspired him to give him the actual vertical cannonball. It just never gets old. It's just so cheap. Right. Let's try some Sonic Boom, shall we? Oh, be careful here. That's a lot of Sonic Booms. Do you know what I mean? There you go, leave it at Ken so I can fireball people. That's so cheap. Gal may be even worse because you just do. You don't have to charge. That's the thing with him. They take. Oh no, I need to be Yonder for this. What can I do with Chun-Li? Is Chun-Li next? Yeah. Oh, I didn't even do that. I don't think Chun-Li's got a fireball in this one, so I'll need to change to somebody with a fireball pretty quick in the next one. But at least she can jump quite high, so I can get back and get myself a bit of space, like. Oh, Guile, typical. Didn't mean to do that. Hopefully one of these hits him. Come on. There you go. And now I can change. It's a bit easier. Right. Right. Other thing you'll notice as well is, I don't know if it's tempting for him, if he stays as Balrog... Nah, he's changed. If he... It's just so cheap. It gets me every time how ridiculous it is. But yeah, if you stay as Balrog, if you stay as what was I gonna say? My head's gone. Oh yeah, if he stays as Balrog, sorry. So if you start somebody and change it to a boss, if you perfect that boss, you then get the bonus points that you would get for perfecting that boss. So the scores you can set on this are absolutely ridiculous, because all that's got to happen really is that like some 3 fireballs come 4. Yeah, I thought it'd be dazed eventually. Oh, ruined me perfect. Never mind. So yeah, if you so if I fight Zangief and then at the end he turns into Balrog, if I perfect him, I get 50,000. So you might imagine the scores you can get if the guy turns into Bison are ridiculous, because you get 80,000 for Bison. So fast fireballs, I don't say they're rubbish, but like slow fireballs are just so much better Because obviously they all home in, and with slow fireballs, they're just so much harder to get out of the way of. Because they just adjust to your every, what's it? Proper adjust to your every move. Vega, I don't know if he'll do it here, but Vega can jump off the wall on any stage as well. There you go. Yeah, you were always going to struggle there, really. That massive wave of fireballs. And 50,000 for the perfect as well, which is fairly decent. 400,000 already. What's this fight? Yeah, see, it's a good score for this. But like I say, score challenges on this I've seen are absolutely ridiculous. People getting in the realms of 2 million just because like the other person changing a bison at the last minute. It's so like unplanned. Like you just at any point characters can change. They can go the other way as well. I've had bison down to like with like 2 tiny bits of health left, and he's turned into like, do you know what I mean, Chun-Li or someone. Hey up. Bison though. Like I say, if that was a perfect, that would have been worth 80,000. So yeah, it's not really Shanglong I think he's bothered about, to be honest. I think it's the fact that the oncoming wave of like jumping fireballs. And any moves you can do in the air, like time one. There you go. Beautiful. I love to say it was beautiful. Like he did everything right to avoid that. Just the fact that the fireball heat-seeking took him down in the end. Dragon Punch is so satisfying. It's like the length of the entire screen. Realistically, right, if you want to get perfects on everyone on this, you can do. What you've got to try and do is it's the first bit where you're going to get it, because that's the point where you kind of you're kind of you're most vulnerable, because they can, as you jump in, they can jump back. If you can once get a rhythm like this going, most people are toast. Like, he ain't getting past that, is he, really? If you're being honest. Oh, heavy night. Right. I haven't quite worked out what it is with Honda that makes him do. I think it's when you first start doing the 100 hand slap, but I've had it before where it just looks like he's jabbing, and fireballs come out of every jab, so it's probably... But then there's so many regional variations of these boards, and so many different kind of... There's one that I read about where they managed to thing a chipset from an SNK game, and they had it so where Ryu would turn into like Andy Bogard from Fatal Fury. It's like super, super rare, as you might imagine, but it's craziness. Who's up next? Right. Better stay away from the old red cyclone. What if I get 100 hand slap in midair? Of course can. How are you going to get past that? Oh, like that. It's going to smack me in the face, right? Oh, I need to get out here. That's it. Can. Sorted. Just so sail. So that's a tough one. Because if you're doing slow fireballs, you can literally match your kind of a pace. But the other bad thing with him is he's so tall that you can hit him with a medium fireball from pretty high. So from here, I can probably hit Sagat. Can please mine. Amazing. It's fair you would play with him on this. Anyone with a fireball's hard work on this. You just got to do it like. Just got to do it to them. Do you know what I mean? You don't like that, just get him with a medium one. See, that's so sick. Tagged him with 3 different speeds of fireballs all at once. I mean, how are you getting around that? You're not, are you? And that's 50,000, because that counts as their boss perfect. What have we got left? I think I've got one more per... Have I fought Dalsim yet? It's hard to remember who you fought just because you fight everybody in every fight, if that makes sense. You ain't gonna... I doubt he'll finish as Dalsim even if he starts it. Come on. That's better. Chun-Li though, really? Just don't get away with turning anybody who hasn't got a projectile on this. It's just suicide, isn't it? Like, I don't... it's unfair anyway if you've got a projectile weapon, but I mean... It's unfair. If you're being real, in a one-on-one fighting tournament, it's unfair if you turn up with the ability to chuck stuff at people. But, I mean... If it's this one where you know people have stuff like that, then yeah, and you can pick anybody. You're unwiser to pick the... do you know what I mean? Anybody without the capacity to attack from the other side of the screen. Oh! Beautiful. Hear me birds upstairs, loving it. Or not. I don't know, maybe the Chun-Li fans, you can tell. Who's next? Oh, Balrog. Gotta get the jumping back thing right with him. Because he can't jump very high either. It's so cheesy how you can just keep doing this. It's just sick though, it's so satisfying. It's like the... I don't know, it's like the Street Fighter equivalent of trolling somebody on Twitter from an anonymous account. Apparently. God. Oh, come on, that was poor. Gotta be careful here. Really careful. Oh, no. That was very lucky. Very, very lucky. See, trolling. I talked about trolling. Always catches up with you. When your hands get slippy though, and like you've just been spending the last 15 minutes doing nothing but spamming fireballs. Oh. That was nice. I'll tell you what as well, I couldn't do this without the control pad that I've got. Like the USB, the Buffalo USB one. It's just sick. Right, let's do the bonus round. Somebody asked me the other day a question on one of the videos. I think it was a guy called Luke Roberts. Shout out to Luke if you're watching. I hope you're enjoying this video, as cheesy and repetitive as it is. But he asked me about my setup and stuff, and a few other questions. On that comment, I can't think which video it's in. I want to say it's on one of the original ones. It's either on WrestleFest 1 or the first Mario one. He asked about like what setup I used, and there's a full setup of all the software that I use, but also ROMs wise, people saying, oh, how's he got hold of this? Where'd you get it from? If you go into Emu Paradise, go on to Google and put Emu Paradise in. They've got about 20 different black belt and rainbow Street Fighter sets for you to download and kind of use, and they all work with it. I use MAME 64-bit for this, and it's just it's really good. It's the best. Oh, I need to try and okay, same thing, that one. I think he might have me done well there. And he's turned to Bison quite randomly. Oh yeah, I wanted to be right, didn't I? Oh, I should have changed back. Oh, this isn't going to be easy actually. Because he's right over the other side. We'll try and get him dazed and then change. Good stream of fireballs going. Nice, red one. This is where he changed. Right. Come on. There we are. Bison again. Interesting. Oh, come on. That's so unlucky because I would have got 80,000 for that perfect then. Bison obviously is a perfect worth loads more. Oh, that's a shame. I've beaten him up twice now. Is he not getting, on some kind of medical suspension? Tiger uppercut. Got it. Oh, time is right. Hard to fireball from the side, I always find. Oh, Gal did well there. Nice. That super powered fireball's so unfair. Right, I ain't playing around with Sagat. Yeah, not playing at all. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Nice. The shame, however, is the fact that it wasn't a boss perfect, so it's only going to be... Yeah, 30. Never mind. Right, Bison time. And it makes Bison hard. He's got really, really high jump animation. I mean, it ain't going to help him when there's like 10 fireballs on the screen, but still. You never know when he's going to just clip you with something. Well, he's not going to clip you anything if he keeps walking in and stuff. That should be 1 million, I think. Should be 80,000 for Bison Perfect. Sick. I mean, it's not as much of an achievement on this because you literally can't just fireball cheese everybody. But it's still nice to see. You don't see it too often. I'd like to kill him in some kind of special way, or say I had something planned like that was kind of, oh, that's cute, or that's special, that's kind of niche, but I really haven't. I'm just going to fireball him. It's for all the times I died on that that other Street Fighter 2 run. I love that he walked in all 3 of them. Sit down, Mr. Bison. And that is a double perfect on M. Bison, although it doesn't quite count, does it? Because it's so ridiculously cheap. And that's 1 credit as advertised, isn't it, my good friends? That's quite the score. I got tired of beating Bison up. So, for those of you who haven't seen Ryu's ending, as the awards ceremony begins, the crowd can be heard whispering, ... Where is the champion? Where is Ryu? This bit. Where is Ryu as his admirers chant his name? He probably hasn't won any fans fighting the way he's fought there, to be honest. Bobby Neyman. This is fairly iconic. Already seeking the next challenge. Ceremony means nothing to him. I mean, I'd use the term challenge loosely as well. Also, the fight is all. Yeah. He didn't really want to mix it when I probably actually physically got my hands on people about 3 times and they all clear. And that was when like they got past my inevitable wall of heat-seeking fireballs. But something you don't see very often. The box breaking ending sequence. This is what you see if you don't lose a round, I think. That's a bit rubbish. You think it would electrocute or something. But I remember seeing, because on the Street Fighter 2, if you watch the SNES video I did of Street Fighter 2, there's a character roll with this music. But it's all the characters fighting. On the arcade one, you get this music and the characters fighting. I didn't know about this box breaking one until my brother bought me a copy of Street Fighter 2 Turbo, actually, the game that this inspired. A Japanese version. I used to play it through a converter. And me and Tran beat it one afternoon on level 6, I want to say, out of 8. And this ending happened and we were like, wow, because we'd never seen it before. And it was just really cool. And Ryu's was like a red fireball and we were like, oh, is that a thing? Do you know what I mean? Because in the original arcades it was just turned out to be a glitch in the end, but they kind of changed it so it became like a part of his moveset. But there's so many like legends back then of being the bosses and Ryu and the red fireball and Shenlong and all those things, and you kind of don't get that in the internet era because everything's debunked or you can't have that anymore. Do you know what I mean? Everything's just proven or disproven straight away. But then there was kind of real excitement by it. And if somebody read Fireball, you'd be like, oh god. And that's that. An interesting game, I think. A game I wanted to do just because you might not have seen it. And one of the best things that people say to me after watching these videos, or if I speak to them and they give me feedback and they're like, oh, I hadn't played that before and I dug it out, I really enjoyed it. And that's the whole point of this. You might not have seen that. You might not have known that Street Fighter 2 had a big range of versions like this. Everybody just thinks of Street Fighter 2, Super Street Fighter 2 with the more characters. I mean, a lot of people didn't even know Turbo came out. But it was kind of, you can see why they made it now. Because take away the ridiculous fact that you can fireball in midair, and take away the fact that Chun-Li's firing like a... Well, fireballs basically out of a crotch there. And you've got that extra kind of bit of speed, and that was one of the criticisms of World Warrior and indeed Champion Edition, was the fact that it was still a bit slow, and it was that bit there where they were both chasing each other. That speed is what kind of it was missing. And if you played the arcade Turbo, they didn't actually add anything to it. All the sprites are the same. They maybe added like one or two. They didn't actually redraw anything. People say, oh, but Chun-Li's Fireball. Well, Chun-Li's Fireball is just two Yoga Fires joined together and painted blue. They changed very, very little, but they just added that sense of speed that they felt the franchise didn't have, but they were impressed by on these boards. As much as they were originally outraged, I bet they were right knocked that somebody had ripped the hardware off to make something like this. But it's fun. It's a cracking game. It's worth playing. It's hilarious two-player because the bulk of it you spend off the screen fireballing people. But I love Street Fighter 2. It's everything I love about video games. I've said that quite a few times now, and this is like the third Street Fighter 2. It's not even the third Street Fighter game, it's the third Street Fighter 2 game I've done. I've done Street Fighter 2 World Warrior, Street Fighter 2 Rainbow this one, and I've done Street Fighter 2 World Warrior on the SNES, an achievement run, which was maximum difficulty. No rounds lost with Guile. So I mean, yeah, I'm a big fan of this. It's hard not to be. If you're kind of that age, I was born in like 1980, so I mean I was 11, 12 when these games came out. It's just a perfect age. You couldn't be targeted anymore by this kind of thing. It's just peak arcade video gaming. It's arguably, I mean, the arcades died not long after this series. Kind of, I won't say died, but kind of changed a little bit. And it's no coincidence that people were saying, oh well, the arcades are in decline, and then Street Fighter 2 came out and it just kind of revolutionized everything. You find somebody who gets games and they get Street Fighter 2, for better or for worse, it's indelibly linked with the history of video gaming and the history of why these things are so good and why people get so attached to these games. Just the sounds, all of it, the music, everything. It's a part of who we are as gamers. We're all Street Fighter 2, and like I say, I said that at work many months ago, and a lady I worked with laughed, and she laughed because she didn't play games, do you know what I mean? And she doesn't get it, and she's a bit of a moron. No, I'm joking, she's really not. But yeah, we're all Street Fighter 2, and if you watch these videos and you play these games, then you're Street Fighter 2 too, if that makes sense. So, thanks very much for taking the time. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. What's happening with me is that me and my lovely wife, we're getting a dog, a small dashing puppy by the name of Larry, of all things. The first of the year, the Cooper Kids, incidentally, but that wasn't the impetus for it. It's named after Larry David out of Curb Your Enthusiasm. But what I'm trying to do, as you might imagine, is pre-record loads and loads and loads of stuff. So I've got a load of really good content for you people while my house is being torn to pieces, or our house, should I say, is being torn to pieces by said mischievous little hound. So I don't know when this is coming out. I don't know what's happened. Who knows what's happened? I don't know how many subscribers are going to be on. I have no idea. I just know that I've played this game. I really enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it too. And I hope you'll take the time to join me on the next episode of One Credit Classics. Take care.